Good evening and welcome to 22 News at 11. I'm Ciara Speller. We're following breaking news right now. The Hampden DA's office is confirming the identity of a man found dead in Holyoke, and he's a man who was wanted by authorities. 22 News anchor Don Shipman is live in Holyoke with what we know so far, Don.
Yeah, Ciara, he is identified as Cory Taylor, and his body was found inside a building here along Main Street in Holyoke. Now, the 41-year-old was from New Salem, and the Hampden DA spokesperson Jim Lydon confirmed to 22 News this evening that the medical examiner's office made positive ID of the body this evening as well. Taylor was wanted on drug and gun charges. He was arrested during a traffic stop back in August and then made bail, but he didn't show up for his court appearance. Police then searched his address here in Holyoke along Main Street, where they say that they found and discovered a cache of guns, drugs, multiple luxury cars, and millions of dollars in cash. Authorities had been looking for him ever since until his body turned up on Thursday. Still no word on the cause of death at this point. The DA's office said the investigation is still ongoing and they're not releasing any other details at this point. 22 News will continue to follow this story. We'll do so on air, online, and on the 22 News mobile app. Working for you live here in Holyoke, Don Shipman, 22 News.
What's good, y'all? What's the numbers TV? It's your boy Paul Rowe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And like a video if you appreciate the content that Paul Rowe and What's the Numbers I provided. Today we back with another profile piece. This one is on Cory Taylor, who according to the feds is a well-known marijuana dealer in the state of Massachusetts. In this video we're going to take a look at his multiple arrests where he'll be busted with hundreds of pounds of weed on different occasions over the years, dating back to 2010. Then we will take a look at Cory's infatuation with sports cars, which will be brought to light during his latest run-in with the law, in which over 50 of Cory's cars will be confiscated. And lastly, we will talk about how Cory Taylor's story ended and what ended up happening to his $1 million car collection that was seized by the police. Cory Taylor is from Western Massachusetts, and since 2008 he's been called a high-level marijuana dealer by the feds. One of his first major run-ins with the law will be in September of 2011 when he was arrested in California with 120 pounds of weed. Taylor would do some time in California, then be transferred back to Mass and released on probation. From there, it wouldn't take long for Taylor to pop back up on the radar of the local authorities when they received information from a snitch that Taylor was back in Mass selling marijuana on a major level. Eventually, the police would start conducting surveillance on an old firehouse in Holyoke, Mass. Taylor had bought the firehouse in 2010 and started to make luxurious renovations inside that you couldn't see from looking at the outside of the building. First, there was the $100,000 kitchen remodeling job equipped with a walk-in freezer. Then a personal gym was built inside along with a state-of-the-art security system equipped with cameras to watch over everything. Over the years, the firehouse would keep coming up anytime something involving Cory Taylor would take place. Like the time in 2013 when someone tried to rob him as he pulled into the garage of the firehouse. Taylor would fight off the home invasion and wrestle the gun away from the unknown robber, discharging the gun in the process. After the attempted home invasion at his residence, things would go back to being somewhat normal for Taylor. No new arrests for a few years, but every now and then a new informant would give him information on Taylor or the firehouse to the police. Though mostly hearsay, the snitches would talk about seeing Taylor with large amounts of marijuana and money at the firehouse. But even with that information, and also conducting their own state and federal investigations on Taylor, the authorities couldn't get him on no major charges until August of 2020. That's when Taylor was arrested after being caught driving a van filled with 138 pounds of weed. He would speak with the cops, not snitching on anybody but himself basically. He admits that the weed is his and consents to certain searches of his residences, and admits that guns are inside. When the police would finally gain access to the firehouse, what they found would shock a lot of people in the community who passed the old looking firehouse every day. Inside was 8 exotic high-end BMWs, as well as 24 guns, ammunition, several $1 million in cash, and over 50 pounds of marijuana hidden in a built-in safe. But somehow before the search of the firehouse, Taylor is able to bail out for $2,000 on the weed charges. He leaves the courthouse on foot. And that will be the last that the authorities seen of Cory Taylor, because about 2 months later in October of 2020, Cory Taylor will be found dead in a vacant building in Holyoke, Mass. Eventually they would do an investigation where they came to the outcome that no foul play was suspected, but his official cause of death would be listed as undetermined. Fast forward to May of 2022, will be time to auction off the 37 cars that was seized by the authorities because they said they came from proceeds of Cory Taylor's drug business. The majority of the cars that sold for the most money was his 13 Toyota Supras, the 4th generation, which was made famous by the Fast and Furious film. And some of them sold for one of them sold for $500,000, the top one. Another one for $200,000. Another for $100,000, $200,000. They were selling for a lot of money. And they basically, together, along with the BMWs and the Supras and all that, they cleared easily a couple $1,000,000. And this is all off of cars that Cory Taylor just had sitting in his garage, just collecting them. 90s, early 2000s, the years of these cars. And they had low miles. Like the one that sold for $500,000 had 7,000 miles on, practically brand new. And it's like a super collector item. Like he had a bunch of money worth of cars in his garage. Low mile cars, exotic cars, BMWs. Like he really just, I guess, was a car fanatic and went crazy with the cars. And you know where the money ended up going to. Right to the state, right to the police department, because they seized all the cars when he died and all that. But yo, it's What's the Numbers TV is a quick profile piece on Cory Taylor out of Massachusetts. They say he's one of the biggest bud dealers out there. Now, one piece I left out real quick was before he went to his the firehouse to go search that, he first gave him an address that he lived with his mom's. They go to his mom's house. He lives on a couple acres, got a whole bunch of buildings on her property. They search his mom's property. They give back any guns and stuff that they found that was registered to her. I mean, so maybe that bought him a little time, but they ended up finding out about the different investigations that was going on. So they spoke to the arresting officer, let him know about the firehouse. That's when they end up trying to get the warrant for the firehouse. But in that time, maybe because he gave him a different address, it gave him enough time to be processed and then bailed out on the other weed charge. Now, weed is legal in Mass, from my understanding. In Massachusetts, weed is legal. Maybe that's why he was able to bail out on 138 pounds. I'm not sure. Who knows? But he didn't really have nobody to tell on. He's giving them a little bogus story. He's basically telling them the whole situation as far as like his dealings with his operation. And then he bails out. Once he bails out, they say he just walks off from the courthouse on foot. Didn't even pick up his property or nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's all over some weed, some money. He left $5 million in the firehouse because they had already had the firehouse surrounded where nobody could go in. So he probably knew the money was there, the guns was there. He just broke out. He left five M's there: the weed, the money. I mean, the weed and the guns. You know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure he wasn't trying to leave those millions of dollars cash. So that shows you he just got up out of there. He knew it was a wrap. He knew they was gonna rearrest him probably once they went inside the firehouse. So he got low. Now, but like I said, man, it's a quick profile piece on Cory Taylor. Hope you guys appreciate his content. Something new, something different as far as like not somebody I know about. Nobody really knows this story. So I hope you appreciate it, man. You know what we do at What's the Numbers, man. We like profiling certain people that not too many people know about or heard about. And this is another one, man. An updated profile piece on Cory Taylor. If you guys appreciate the content, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Go follow the Instagram, What's the Numbers TV. Any business, Paul Rowe, What's the Numbers at yahoo.com. And on that note, man, I'm out of here. Till next time. Your boy Paul Rowe, What's the Numbers TV. Peace.